They say time heals, but sometimes time only teaches you how to hide your pain. For Claire Dawson, love died 3 years ago on a cold November night. She wasn't looking for another chance. She wasn't even looking for hope. But hope found her anyway. Claire Dawson stood on her front porch, staring at the last orange streaks of the evening sun melting behind the hills of Willow Creek. Her hands trembled slightly as she pulled her sweater tighter around her shoulders. Nights were always the hardest. Nights made the house too quiet. Nights made her remember. Her husband, Daniel, had been gone for 3 years, and the silence he left behind was louder than anything she had ever known. Inside the house, the walls still smelled like him. The bookshelf still held the mystery novels he loved. The wooden floor still creaked in the exact places where he used to walk. Claire had stopped moving most furniture because she couldn't bear the idea of rearranging the spaces he once filled with laughter. She didn't cry anymore, not because she wasn't hurting, but because the tears had simply run out. That evening, just as she turned to go inside, headlights appeared at the end of her driveway. A black truck rolled slowly toward the house, the tires crunching through the fallen autumn leaves. Claire froze. "Hi," he said, raising his hand gently. "Sorry to show up like this. I'm Michael Reed. I moved into the cabin down the road, the one that's practically falling apart." He offered a warm, crooked smile. "Your name came up as the person who knows everyone in town." Claire blinked. "Everyone?" she asked softly. "Or so they told me at the general store," he chuckled, "though the woman there said you don't talk much anymore." Claire swallowed. "People talk too much." Michael nodded slowly, no offense taken. "Fair enough." He shifted his weight, tapping his thumb thoughtfully against his palm. "Look, I'm trying to rebuild the cabin, but, the pipes are leaking, the heater is dead, and I'm pretty sure the place hasn't been touched since the 80s. He paused, then added gently, "I was wondering if you knew anyone who could help. A handyman, maybe?" Claire hesitated. Her instinct was to retreat back into her quiet world, but Daniel had been a handyman, a good one, and for a moment, just one small moment, she felt something warm stir in her chest. "I know someone," she said quietly. "I can write down the number." Michael smiled again, a grateful, humble smile that reached his eyes. "Thank you. Really." As she turned to go inside, Michael added softly, "Nice to meet you, Claire." She froze. It had been a long time since anyone said her name with warmth. The next morning, Claire stepped outside to pick up her mail when she saw Michael sitting on the back of his truck, hammer in hand, wrestling with a broken wooden board. She tried to walk past quietly, but he looked up. "Morning, Claire." His smile was too bright, too real, too alive. "Morning," she murmured. "You happen to know how to tell if this thing is fixable?" he asked, holding up the cracked board. It was such a simple question, but something about his earnestness tugged at her. Daniel used to ask for her opinion on household repairs just to make her feel involved, even though he already knew the answer. Claire stepped closer. "Let me see." For the next 20 minutes, she explained how the wood had warped and why it needed replacing. Michael listened like her words were gold. When she finished, he exhaled. "Wow, you're brilliant." Claire laughed, actually laughed, and for the first time in years, the sound didn't feel strange in her chest. Days passed. Michael kept stopping by, sometimes asking for help, sometimes bringing fresh coffee, sometimes just sitting on her porch talking about everything and nothing. His job, his past, his fears, the cabin, life. And slowly, without warning, Claire found herself opening up too. One evening, as they sat on the porch wrapped in blankets, she whispered the words she hadn't said aloud in years. "I lost someone. That's why I keep to myself. I'm still learning how to breathe without him." Michael's eyes softened. "I'm not here to replace anyone," he said gently, "but I'm here. And if you ever feel like talking or just sitting in silence, I can do that." Claire closed her eyes as the cool wind brushed her face. For the first time, the silence didn't hurt. Weeks turned into months. Winter arrived with soft white snow and warm cups of cocoa shared on the porch. Claire began seeing color again, where everything had once felt gray. One night, as Michael finished replacing the porch railing, he looked at her, really looked at her, and said softly, "Claire, you deserve joy that doesn't scare you." Her heart stuttered, because deep down, she knew she wanted that, with him. But fear whispered in her ears, "What if I lose someone again?" Michael stepped closer. "Then we face it together," he said. "Life isn't about avoiding pain. It's about letting good things in, even if they might break your heart someday." Tears filled her eyes, warm, grateful tears she thought she no longer had. And in that moment, Claire Dawson allowed herself to hope again, allowed herself to feel again, allowed herself to choose life after grief. Michael didn't heal her. He simply walked beside her until she healed herself. If you've ever loved, lost, and learned to breathe again, this story is for you. You deserve second chances too, and your heart is stronger than you think.